Hi guys, Squall here. Welcome to another Transport Fever 2 video as two ships completely collide with each other. This is a bit of a T-junction, isn't it? We need traffic lights here, that's what we need. Anyway, hope you're enjoying the series. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Go back and check all the previous episodes. It is, bottom right, 2021. Look at that. We are almost in real time, about to go into the future. July 2021 it is. I've just upgraded the ships on our oil sand line, which is our shipping run that we did in the last video. We went from here to here and took oil sand there, and then this then converts it into fuel and sand, and then the sand gets trained down to here and gets turned into conmat. And this is quite an effective way of making construction materials, because one sand gets turned into two conmat, which is really cool. Now that has obviously leveled up a little bit, as you can see, but there's the kind of demand has stalled a little bit, as you can see there. So we're producing a lot of conmat, which is now being trained over into Sandhurst. So Sandhurst is loving it. It's getting a nice significant boost out of that. I've had to add some more trucks just to deal with the sheer amount of conmat coming in now. Look at it. So what I want to do today is expand a little bit on this. I want to create some more demand here on the conmat. We've got a lot that can be made. If we look at the oil sand, that is more or less tapped out now, and I had to put the big boy ships on there, these things. I had to upgrade them to 600 capacity just to deal with the sheer amount of oil sand being moved. That is tapped out. However, there is another one right here, you see? There's another oil sand right there. So what I'm trying to say is, if this has got a long way to level up here before it's completely full, so we can make an awful lot of conmat out of this. Can we get it all converted via this? If I can click on the right thing, yes, because this isn't tapped out either. So this one here, this refinery, should be able to support two of these sand mines when it's fully tapped out. And once that one's tapped out, I think this one will be as well, but that's a lot of construction material that we're going to have to find a home for. So in lieu of the fact that at some point we're going to want to bring this oil sand here, what I've done is I've just expanded this station a little bit, and I've moved that track from that side to this side and added a little shipping port, because at some point we're going to want to train the oil sand to here and then ship it to there. That's the most efficient way of getting it in, because we could train over this, but it's a heck of a dance, and frankly I can't be bothered with that. So I thought, we'll just drop it in here and ship it there. Much easier. So that's in the future. Big problem for today's episode is how the heck are we going to get construction material out of here and create more demand? Well, Sandhurst obviously needs construction material, and it's getting it. It's getting all of it at the moment from here, but we need to find somewhere new. Now, Aylsham is, well, you know, it could take a lot more, quite frankly, construction material. It's being fed by that long train run from here. That's feeding that one. But there is a town up here, or a city rather up here, that's not getting anything. So this kind of has to take priority over just giving more stuff to Aylsham. Really need to get this one done. So, you know, if we're going to get construction material in here, how we're going to do it, that's one problem. There is another brewing issue that I'm going to mention now. We're going to have to deal with later. But there is definitely a brewing issue going on. And that is this. The tools factory, which is running at capacity, as you can see. It's being fed by planks from here. There's a couple of trains. I might replace the engine on that because I don't think they're moving it quite as quickly as I want them to now. All the tools are being given to Sandhurst. And the reason is, like, just to quickly remind ourselves, the tool factory here is feeding three things, okay? Sandhurst, and we're also shipping tools all the way up to Ludgershall, where it's being dropped off at Ludgershall and also at the train station to go up to Twickenham. We basically just fed tools into the existing tool network for Twickenham and Ludgershall. The problem is the cities have grown massively. So Ludgershall's getting good amounts of tools. Twickenham needs way more than it currently has. But because Sandhurst is now doing full Pac-Man, just nom 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 nom, it's getting all the tools. Look, just Twickenham and Ludgershall are getting nothing, which means this whole shipping here is a bit of a disaster, quite frankly. We're sending not many tools all the way up there. So that needs to just be allowed to feed Sandhurst. And what I'd like to do is get some more tools fed into Ludgershall and Twickenham later at some point. Not now, but later. That's a problem that's brewing. And I have a solution for it in my head, but we'll talk about that in a future episode. For now, let's focus on the Conmat. So if we want to get construction materials from here all the way up to Twickenham, what are the options? Well, option one, I guess, is to fly it in. We could flatten this bit of land here. We could put an airport, and we could quite simply fly construction materials from here, drop an airport here, to here. Pros and cons. So I guess if we drop an airport in here, we could fly Conmat, and then maybe also we could fly passengers. If we start flying passengers, then it might compromise some of the train lines, and we start seeing passengers leave the train lines and go on planes. That's one thing. If we try and train it, which is the other option, it's too far for a truck, so we could try and train it. How do we do that? And if we did fly it, can we do anything else later? If we have an airport here, for example, can we utilize some of this other stuff at some point? Possibly. We could look at, in future flying in berries and converting them to coffee beans and flying them back out. There's also a factory there. Well, I think it's being used, isn't it? There's berries here. Train is also equally not ideal because, well, the line kind of goes that way, and we could branch off and jump on that track. The trouble is that track, which is a cargo track, so it's okay, it then ends here and here. So then we need to hop our way onto this bridge structure in order to then go through here and wind our way up into Thatcham. And Thatcham itself probably needs a station reworking. So there's not really an easy way of doing it. What I think might be easier is if we train out of here underground and effectively hook up with this track here, perhaps around that mark there. That's what I'm thinking, although I haven't actually checked the elevation. So the elevation there is 54 meters, which is quite elevated. And then the elevation here is 25. So it's only 25 meters over that run, which is a very small gradient. So that's okay. So let's assume we can bring it into here. Then we've got to get through here, which is a bit of an issue because, well, it's already very, very cramped. We can't do a lot with this because this truck depot here is linked to that train depot. It has to be because Conmat comes in there. So we can't move this very easily. So can we get a train line through there? That's the question. We have a PAX line already. I'd rather not disrupt that if possible. We have we've got a spare track here. We could perhaps punt that. Oh, we can't punt that over because that's a cargo one. That's a passenger one there, isn't the pink one? So we can't move that over here either. Yeah, so we're a little bit stuck. The other thing we can do is try and share track, but it's not great. So what we might have to do at that point is dive underneath and then come back out onto that bridge section, which is not great. That's not ideal. Or we just keep diving underneath and just go all the way under the city and take a straight line view all the way to Thatcham. I kind of like to reuse the track if possible. It makes for a better looking network than having, lines going off left, right, and centre. But this is a bit of an issue, in all honesty. What we could do is build another track there on that side of the platform, and we could move one of these over there. We can't build another platform because we'd have to ditch that road, and we can't ditch that road. Unless maybe we could build another platform and a building. Yeah, we could perhaps get one track and then a platform in there just about, maybe. I don't know. It would take some serious reworking to make it work, and then we can punch these tracks to the left. Apart from that one there, that's the PAX line. We'd have to go through that somehow. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy at all. Where does that purple line go? The purple line stays there. Okay, so if we actually put a passenger platform on the inside, we could move that one onto the inside completely. And then we'd only have cargo stuff to deal with. That might work. It would just require us to rework this platform. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can rework this and get it to work. Okay, this is what I've come up with. I managed to squeeze in a passenger platform there, as you can see. which then effectively allows us to take this pink or purple passenger line and chuck it over here. And that has the advantage then that it doesn't need to cross over there, you see, because it crosses over the cargo line. We can keep it on the inside. That tunnel there might be an issue as we put two lots of track next to it, but other than that, I don't see any other further issues. So what I think we need to do, I just noticed in that train there, if I just pause it a second. The trouble is some of these trains are going to get trapped. Let me speed it up a bit. Actually, what we'll do is we'll build a track while we're waiting for them to move around. So we'll have another track going down the inside here. This will be the new, replacing the existing PAX line. So this will follow this one around like that. And then we can make it just branch off. And it can come into here, like that. We'll have a second track come in there. You can just get it to... There we go. Lovely. So now this can come all the way along there. Now what we kind of need, where's all the trains on this line? So we've got one there. I'm going to have to basically stop these trains a second. So if we stop, if you hit the power button there, it'll just stop the train temporarily. I just need to remember to start again. That'll stop anything coming back on that line. Because we're going to have to do a little swapsy here. What's that one? That's another one, see? So let me just speed that up. While we're waiting for that to happen, let's put some signals in here. So what we'll do is we'll do signal, auto sig, yes. One way, yes, and we'll do it just after that. And then we'll come back the other way. Perfect. There we go. Right. Now, where's these trains? We need this guy. This is the last one. We need this guy to get off that section of track and over here so that we can actually maneuver him back around. In the meantime, everything's going to start backing up at these signal blocks. You see this one? He's going to stop there, and then he's going to stop there. And this is going to cost a bit of money, and the trains won't be very spaced out. But frankly, there's not a lot we can do at the moment. We can start deleting all the track back, and it'll force him that way, but I'd rather just wait for him to get over there. And then what we need to do is just reconfigure this track to come through here. That will then take him off there. And what I'm thinking is, where we've got that purple line coming in here, we'll just use these two bits of track. Assuming the game will let us actually build over that bit. Actually, let's try and go in that way. Thinking we can just... Yeah, there you go. So effectively, we'll go in like that, is what I'm thinking we'll do. We don't need a diamond because we're not actually going to stop there. Okay, so there he goes. He has gone past that section of track, I believe. Yes, so we'll pause it. And then we'll go in and trash this. I'll just get rid of that. Okay. Now, I'll probably just leave that track for now. It doesn't serve any purpose, but we'll just leave it alone, and then we'll connect this in like that. And then the only thing we need now is the signals. So what I'll probably do is just do this manually. So we'll turn off one way, and we'll just come in manually and touch that one up there. And probably one about... Let's see. Yeah, about halfway, isn't it? About there. Now, if we reassign the platform number, that should sort the line out. So that will be that one, I believe, which is currently broken at Aylsham. If we come over to platform 1, there we go. Lovely. There we go. And the last thing to do is unpause that guy, and off he'll go. Right, so they're all bunched up now, but that'll sort itself out. So what we've done is buy ourselves the use of these two tracks here, and we'll delete that away from there like that, which means we can jump on here. Now the only downside is we'll have to flick onto the inside of this because this is a PAX line, as is the yellow one, I think. Yep, they're both PAX lines, so we want to have another track coming through here. that will take us along and eventually into Thatcham itself. So we need to think about the entrance point to Thatcham because we need a cargo drop, and there are no cargo platforms there right now if you look at it. So this blue one here is going to have to come into a PAX platform, but I think we need to replace that with a cargo. Having said that, oh, he's got a track through there. I think that was a feeder line for that thing. Yes, it was. So we'll just pause that and we'll delete. We'll come into here, reconfigure this. So we're going to drop that track. And then we'll drop this platform, which it doesn't like because it can't drop packs off there anymore. We'll make that a cargo. And then put the track back. So in theory, we've now got 2 cargo drops, and then we'll put a PAX one back on the inside here. We might as well put that track in there. And then we will put the PAX staircase in, and then put a simple thing like that. So that's sorted that out. The only thing we need to do now is reconfigure this. So we'll delete the track back from here. And that'll push him a bit further back. There we go. And then we'll drag you... So the real question is, which platform do you want to go into? This one or this one? It doesn't really matter. It's a bit crystal ball. We can always change it later. We'll reconfigure the platform. That doesn't want to connect though, does it? Okay, some weirdness going on here. Don't think the game likes that terrain. Just smooth the terrain out. It's having a bit of a problem, look. It's not liking something. Hang on, let's delete that bit of track. Very odd. There we go. Not really sure what was going on there. So then we'll just come in and put the signal there. And then we'll put the signal here. And that is that line, I believe. So that will need to go into platform 4. That's got rid of the errors. And we can unpause. Beautiful. So we now have our destination. We can either come into this platform here or this platform here. We want to stick around the outside of that. We then want to come through here. So we'll need a pass-through set of tracks here. We've kind of already got one. I've no doubt when I reconfigure this, it will get really confused in a second. It always does. The trains that are in the platform often get very confused when you start reconfiguring the platform. What I'll do is I'll leave them alone and we'll just have a pass-through track there, which is like an inner cargo pass-through. That allows us later to carry on building if you want, but these 2 tracks here, that can still be used for passengers, and then these 2 can be used for a pass-through line. So that will get us through there. So what we need to do is be on the inside track through here. And then, unfortunately, we are going to have to duck and dive a bit because we have to change over to this side to then come through here. And then this, as I said earlier, this will then dive down underground to here. So let's start back up down here now and just reconfigure this. I think what we're going to have to do is, because we've got 2 lots going in there, we're going to need to reconfigure this and add... Never thought we'd have to reconfigure this one, funnily enough, but we are. We're going to add another set of tracks and platform. Okay. While it's paused, let me just quickly look at the line config. So yeah, while it's paused, what we'll do is I'll delete that back now. And as long as you delete from the end, it will push the train backwards. What you don't want to do, as I've said earlier, is start deleting from the middle of the track. That is a really bad idea. Okay, right, that should do it. So we want to go from here to like there. Like that. And then we also want to have these lines cross out like that. Actually, thinking about it, this can go in the... We don't really need to do it this way. Oh, we'll do it anyway for completeness sake. We'll be fancy. We could have kept the junction a lot simpler, but why not just do it this way? So we'll do it. We'll get that. Where's that snap point for that one? There. Then we'll hook him into that. Also safe for the win. So that allows him to come through and then join onto over there if he wants to, but he shouldn't need to. He shouldn't need to come into this platform. That's what I'm thinking. And then that can come through. Actually, this isn't going to work, is it? That's not going to work, I don't think. Maybe I just keep it simple after all. Let's just do it. Like that, and then like that, and then like that. So that allows these two to go into that platform. It allows these two to go into that platform. What it doesn't allow is them to interchange in any way, which may or may not be a problem. Certainly this one here that goes to Sandhurst, the Conmat, needs to go on the inside here. So that one would need to go, Rinsborough South needs to go on platform 4 like that. And then this one needs to go on platform 3 like that. And then there's an error, which is probably this train here. Yes, because... yeah, I thought this would happen. Oh no, he should be fine. I think he just needs to be flipped around again. No, he's very confused. Oh, I see. When I deleted the track, I think the game just turned the train around and he wasn't really sure what to do with himself. That's fine, except the feeder section for that, which is this thing, the feeder depot, can't feed trains in currently, but that's easily solved by doing that. That will allow them to feed trains onto here, but not this one. So that one needs to be fed in like that. Do you know what? Just for looking cool, let's do that as well. Just because it looks cool. That allows us to drop trains into anywhere, that does. I quite like that. Looks pretty fun. Anyway, so now we've freed up this. The next problem we have is how do we get this? We know this is at 25 meters. And this was at like 50 meters about here-ish somewhere. We want to be after the depot, so I think we probably want to be, you know, trying to look to join. Actually, maybe not so close to the tunnel. Maybe a little bit further back. Because we're going to start coming out here, aren't we? Oh, the game's getting confused. It's trying to intersect with the roads. It's like, I can't calculate this. What are you doing? This is madness. Literally 1 FPS right now. There we go. Oh, right. Now, if we can just convince it. There you go. So, that would work apart from there's a collision. But if we press the N key or M key, maybe we can change it. No, it really doesn't like that. It's colliding... Okay, we're going to have to be a bit more clever. So that's not going to work. We're going to have to come out like this. Let's try and stay level. We don't want to start diving into the terrain, really. Because we know we've got to climb. So if we start climbing up a little bit, like that, we're okay with an incline. Because we've got to do it anyway. So we'll do that. And then I'm holding shift when I click this. Because that, if we have a look at it, that elevation point there is 37 meters. So that's a lot of the climb is already out the way at this point. But now we can hopefully cut into... There we go. We can just cut straight in now and join it with that track. The only thing is we need to set the tunnel entrance like that. 5 fields will be removed. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. So if we press the N key and then Shift M and bring it up bit by bit. I am pressing Shift M, trust me. That's elevating it gradually, but you can't see it. There we go. See, and then it gets rid of a field. So Shift N to take it back down. Double check we've got what we want, and then boom. Yeah. It doesn't actually affect this if you get rid of it. Actually, it's got rid of that field anyway. It doesn't affect the farm. These are just cosmetic. But personally, I like to try and not delete them. Just because I do like the cosmetic look. Otherwise, you end up with a farm with no fields, and it kind of looks a bit odd. So we bring that out of there. And then into that. Right, so that's one of the hardest bits done. There's the diamond. Quickly smooth it out. Make it look nice. Cool. Alright. And then you've got these two little tunnels here. That was pretty cool. Right, so now we smash our way through here. We've already set this one up. So we go to there. All this to get combat up the other side of the map, eh? Be worth it though, look pretty cool. Makes our train network look better. This, I think, this is the most tricky part of the whole run. What I don't want to do is get further into the bridge area. We need to make the changeover like as quickly as we can, but as quick, you know, quite literally as quickly as we can. Keep the track speed up. So, let's start off by drawing... So we want the branch there like that. That keeps the speed at maximum. And now we need to swap over. So, to do that, we're going to need... So we drag this out as far as we can. Now, 120, 130 is not amazing, to be honest. Cargo can go 160, so it is going to slow the cargo down. And then... How far will that go? 120 through there. Okay, and that's only the inside line, isn't it? So can we do that? And then still bring this? The answer is no. I wish the game would give you a way of doing this a bit more scientifically. Sadly, it doesn't. So what we can do is try and drag that to the inside. So let's come at it from this direction. These are the two bits of track we want. And we need to get this one over to there. Drag it out like that. Yeah, it's not liking this at all. That works okay, but we need to do it for this one as well. And it's just going to look a bit janky, isn't it? Let me figure this out. Okay. Had to have a little bit of a fight, but, you know, we got there. So that line's now still preserved. Obviously, this needs signaling up now. But effectively, you know, the cargo section is going to intersect with the passenger line. There's not a lot we can do about that. We've got to get this cargo on the inside. if it's going to get on its way. You know, we could, in theory, look at moving the PAX line over onto the inside and having it, because it terminates here. So we could move the PAX line, but we don't really have the track to play with to do that. So, you know, horses for courses, I guess. We could, you know, if we have the cargo running through and have the PAX platforms here, that would be one solution. The problem is if we want to extend that PAX later up to Thatcham, which we may or may not want to do, you know, it's not the end of the world. The cargo on the PAX trains aren't going to intersect here that much, but it will slow our PAX line down occasionally. I can't be bothered moving the platforms over there, so we'll just go with this for now. Otherwise, what we could do is basically put that cargo onto this track, and then these two inner tracks would become the new PAX line, which would come up through here, and then the cargo would go straight through there, I guess, where the green one is now. It goes straight through, and then the PAX would come into this platform here, which I guess arguably is a slightly nicer solution, I guess, although that would then interfere. Yeah, the cargo couldn't run through there then. Yeah, I think we leave it as it is. We'll stick with this plan. That's probably the best. Otherwise, it would require a lot of reconfiguring. Anyway, we'll unpause it. We'll get the track over to here, like that. So a 4-lane bridge now, which looks really cool. Wait till we start getting 8-lane stuff going. 8-lane with PAX and cargo and TGVs running. Looks rather splendid. Right, at this point we need to sort of branch off and go there, like that. Okay, that looks okay. And then we need to get it hooked up to one of these, which we didn't decide which one to go for, so we'll take the inside one. We'll take that and we'll come through this. And then what we'll do is we'll get to about here and then we'll branch off like that. Something like that, didn't it? I think it's because it's auto-saving. Right. Bring that out like that. Whew, that was a monumental effort, wasn't it? Right. Let's signal this up, and then we need to figure out how we're going to get trains onto it. So, just after the split here, we'll have auto-sig on. Make sure the arrow's going the right way. And then follow it down to here, and then we'll do that. Don't need to worry about diamonding through there. So then, instead of starting the signaling at this side, I'll come back over here because it's critical we get our signaling right just before this here. In terms of this track, it can go about here, but this one coming back needs to sort of stop there-ish. So this is slightly harder to get right because we can't really work back from this. So what we'll do is we'll start like that, which will give us our starting point back here. And then we'll build that one coming back the other way. And that will ensure that we've got our signal just before, you see, just before the join there. Unfortunately, it means that the signal here is not highly efficient because there's all this run here before the signal block is cleared. We can tune this slightly, so if we get rid of that signal, we can actually push it further down now. It can go to like here. So we'll put one there and we'll get rid of that one. And then with this one, we'll have it just after it leaves this section. And we'll get rid of that one. So we're just fine-tuning it slightly to make it a bit closer to the actual contention area. And the same with this now. So again, normally it was here, but what we'll do is we'll just push it a bit further down. Get rid of it here and just have it closer to the junction. This one is just after the split. This one coming in needs to be just before the join. And then this one just after the split like that. And that's about as small a block as we can get, really. And the rest of it is all now done. So we've just got this side to do. We don't have anything to worry about there. So what we'll do is we'll travel further down. don't think... I think the next junction is actually the platform, which is here, isn't it? So we'll turn our autosig back on, and just after the diamond, we'll kick it off like that. Now, this is where if you didn't have this autosig, this takes ages. And quite frankly, I don't know why signaling mod is not just in the base game, because it is dreadfully tedious to do. But we're done. We are burger bun on that one. We now have a way of getting stuff out of here under the tunnel. We then join through here, switch over just after Aylsham, go on the inside line, power through past Romsey, straight into Thatcham. So the only problem now is how do we get stuff from here into Thatcham? Now that's a slight issue because we don't have a truck stop anywhere at Aylsham, which means we're going to get a little bit invasive. And what's worse, looking at it, is we've got a bus stop there, which obviously has a line coming into it. And then we have a big road here, so it's not like we can build something right next to the platform. So this is going to be a slight challenge to fit this into an already incumbent spot. Let's see where we need to drop it off. Now we're dropping off Conmat. Oh my god. So Thatcham has a enormous residential area. It has quite a small... Actually, no, looking at this. If you look at the commercial drop zone for this, for food, it's not actually on point anymore, is it? Which is the food drop? Hang on, let's fix this while we're here. There's a food drop going off at North Road, which is that there. And I think you'll find that is not the best place to do it. Because the food zone, if you look, has actually grown quite a bit. So we would be better off pushing this back out here a little bit to try and capture more of that. So something like that would be a better drop point, I would suggest. So we'll put a new stop down and then we'll change this. So instead of going to North Road, we'll have it come to here and we'll get rid of the North Road drop point. We'll check that it's coming in and out the right way. That looks all right to me. And then we'll delete those truck stops. Now, noticing this, you'll see that the Conmat drop is going to be very difficult because it's elongated. And the reason it's elongated is because of what we've done with the train line. We've basically built a train line that's hemmed the city in. It can't do anything about a train line. It's not like a road. And that's a real problem because this is all residential, this is commercial food, and then as we start dropping off Conmat, there's nowhere for this district to grow. So really, we should be taking this line apart and punting it right out here and giving this city a better growth space. So I think we're going to actually have to do that. I think we'll pause it, and yeah, we're going to have to effectively come... We're going to have to reconfigure this train line completely. So we're going to have to come like this side, stay far out here, and then come in that way just to give the city more room. This is going to break quite a few things. So anyway, let's get on with it. We'll delete this. We're going to have to put another one of these back in a minute. And then we shall start to shatter the existing line network. And we'll delete back towards the stations, and that way any trains will get pushed back towards the platforms. We'll do that. And what we want to do is stay as straight as we can out of there and come all the way out here. We're going to have to change this road as well. Just look at the traffic on this road. Good grief. Because we're going to have to come... You know, we're going to need the road to tunnel a lot earlier than that, put it that way. So just make sure you keep deleting backwards so that the train gets pushed that way. This whole tunnel's going to have to go. It is a little bit tedious, this. I wish you could just kind of, you know, shift click and it would delete a whole block. Oh, that's even worse, isn't it? Wish there was a way of deleting stuff en masse is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Where's the diamond? Cool. Right, so let's try and take this inside line here. And we will... Now, we're going to actually work out elevations. So what's this at? This is at 55 meters high. And we're going to be going to here, which is at 54. Perfect. So that's makes life a bit easier. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that and put the diamond back completely, because I'd like to keep this track coming out. I want to give this city as much growth room as we can, so we have to take a wider line. So we'll come out like that. Put that back. Okay, so I guess we want to be looking at this road here. We're going to have to get this road to tunnel down quite early, because we want all of this land here, don't we? So we'll get the streets out, and I think we've got one of them. Click that. And then from there to there, that will just stay underground. That's sorted that out. Okay, so we want to be... What's the elevation here? 56. It's actually really flat, isn't it? Okay, so we want to go there, probably through there, I'd suggest. So probably about here is where we want to be. And that gives the city quite a lot of growth now. So let's see, do that. What does that do? Okay, yep, I'm fine with that. Come on, game. Come on, come on, come on. Stop intersecting with the roads and stuff. Oh, dear me. I hate it when it does this. There we go. Right. Okay. Now we just need to put the signals back. So we've got the diamond bit. Auto sig is on. Follow it through. Go back the other way, and probably need to have one just before and after there. Press L, check the line's good, unpause. Super! And that has given the city a lot more potential growth, hasn't it? So now is probably not a bad time as well to just come in and think about upgrading some roads, because we kind of want it to build out that way. I'm seeing a nice road there, so I'm thinking let's get the bus lane in there like that. Try and encourage some city growth here. That will bring it through there. That's fine. It's actually a 6-lane road through there, blimey. We'll upgrade that road there. And then we'll keep that going through there like that. So all I'm really trying to do is, you know, give the city places to sort of hang things off. I want it to start growing in this direction, but I want to have some nice roads ready in case it does. So the only thing we need to do now is figure out where to put this. So for a conmat drop, as I said, this is not going to be easy. You know, we're going to hit some of this down here, or we can start hitting some of this over here. It'd be nice when you do this if it actually showed us, you know, a number, showed us some metric to say you're hitting this much conmat. Because right now it is utter guesswork. This is a horrible drop point. But on the expectation that the city's going to grow this way, I think we want to have it probably somewhere around here for now, just to get it going. And then I kind of hope that it'll grow out this way and we can redeploy there later. In terms of the drop point and getting to it, we might have to just tunnel underneath this road network here. So I think what I'll do is I'll upgrade that and that, and then we'll tunnel underneath. We'll build a cargo drop this side. I don't want to delete anything from this if possible. I'm just going to pause that a second. We're going to need a... So if we do one more track, and then we do a cargo platform, like that, and then we do a cargo building. We'll just put it down this end like that. We'll unpause, and then that will allow us... We'll have a non-town building road. Just drop that in there like that. And as long as that's connected, which it is, we can then put... I'll just flatten this bit here. We can then have our road go underground. Like that. Just bring it up. Smooth it out. There we go. Now we've got a place to put a truck depot. Buildings, truck station. It's quite a lot of work to do this, isn't it? It's nuts how much work we've had to do just to build, just to get the stuff dropped off. But that's what it's like in the late game, you know? You're having to take things, well, very long distances. And depending on how you built your infrastructure, you'll find along the way that things just get in the way. As we've already seen, we've had to reconfigure stations, go underneath things. What you're trying to do is not have it turn into a massive spaghetti mess. Just chuck that back there like that. We're going to put multiple entrances here, but whether we'll use them or not remains to be seen. We're only going to have one thing coming in initially, but, you know, you never know. Waypoint that, and come on, game. Can't click because it's auto-saving. Notice as the game gets more complex, the autosave takes longer. Okay, so now we've got Thatcham Conmat trucks, haven't we? That's what we've ultimately done here. Thatcham Conmat. Hooray for the Conmat. Right, so you're going to go from here, and you're going to go and drop there. And just to make sure you come back the right way, we're going to waypoint you like that. Is there a depot in the vicinity? I don't see one. I don't see a depot anywhere, do you? Oh, is that one there? No? Oh yeah, it's surrounded by stuff. That's amazing. Okay, so we'll just drop a vehicle on that. Doesn't have to be anything, but it's going to be a combat drop. We'll have a couple of them for now. We'll colour them dark red, and then we'll put them on Thatcham Combat. In terms of the line itself, we'll tell it to wait here until a full load. It might as well wait for quite a long time because, frankly, it could take a long time from a train to get here. But that will allow combat to be dropped off. Now then, let's get back here because this is going to be the big one. So this is a rail line. This is going from Princess to Thatcham Conmat. And we'll make that a orangey colour because we've already got a red. And that will go from here all the way up to here. That is a serious journey. Look at that. And we can see where the crossover is now. We can visualise it there, where it crosses the PAX line. Yeah, we're going to need... This is a long-distance train, but the cars only go at 160 anyway, so there's not a lot we can do. When it gets down to this bit here, we'll tell it to wait till full. May as well wait a little bit because it could be a while before this has got anything to make. Although looking at it, it's got a surplus of sand, so it should be fine. It's producing a lot of stuff. We're shipping everything, but the shipment's demand is not high. So we're going to hopefully increase that demand now. So we'll start with the cargo because that's the most important thing. Was that a 320 meter station? I actually didn't notice. This one is. But I don't know what Thatcham is. I think Thatcham's a 240, you know, just looking at it. Yep. Well, ain't that a pain? I think I might extend this platform. That bit there isn't necessary. So I just need to put a... Can I get 320 before that curve? I think we can. I think we can. This will be interesting, guys. This will be interesting. Didn't plan to do this, obviously. So this may or may not work. Let's see. Also, we're going to get this horrible mix now, aren't we? Look, we're going to get old and new. Oh, God, that's so bad. There's no way to upgrade the platform to the new stuff. It's actually annoying. What you have to do is you have to delete all the old stuff and put the new stuff down. It's genuinely tedious. Right, is that a 3? That's a 320, isn't it? Yeah, so you see you've got old world right next to new world. And the only way to deal with it is to go through one by one and delete it. Anyway, we'll just put this track down. At least we know it fits. That's the main thing. So like the track, I can go to tools and do this, right? And then just instantly upgrade the track. So I can do that, but what I can't do, and I can even electrify or unelectrify, but what I can't do is I can't change. Let me just close that a second. I can't change this platform style to this platform style. The only way to do it is to delete it and put it back. And of course, in order to delete it, you also have to delete the roof. So you've got to go, you've got to do this. And look at the delay between the click. You've got to do that, and then you've got to go, right, now I want to delete this, and that's going to delete that with it. It's like one of those things that they clearly overlooked. And then you have to put the platform back, so... Ay, ay, ay. So if you want one of them there, and there, and there, and then you come in and you put that back like that. Of course, if you put this down, you'll have a new roof covering the old platform. Or you go through it and just rip it all apart. Not ideal, guys. Not ideal. Right. I know a lot of you are going to be fully triggered by that. You can't leave it like that, squirrel. That's an offense. Right. I don't think we had a diamond on that, but we did on this one, so we'll have that going in there, that coming out like that. And the rest of it should be fine. Press L. Okay, unpause. Good to go. Yeah, so now we can put a 320 trine on there. Are you confused, mate? You're alright. No, he's alright. Okay, so now, come back here. We can now build a 320 meter train. So we'll start with the Conmax cars, and we'll take that all the way up to 320-ish, like 315. Then we'll say what we're going to add. Series 246 is 2,000 kilowatts, 240 Newton. These are 4,000 kilowatts, 300 newtons, 2.7 million a year for the BR185 versus 2.6 million. It's half the price. And I think this will do. Of course, when we add the loco, it's too long, so we'll knock one back off again and buy that. I think we coloured it a dark orange. And there we go. Right, so he now recognises Thatcham as a consumer. So as he's making stuff now, because he's got a store of sand, as he's making stuff, it's starting to dump that onto the platform. So we should start to see, there it is there, you see it? Just starting to build up. But the important thing is what happened to this, the demand, or the shipment as it calls it. I don't know why they call it shipment, it should have been called demand. But the demand has moved up straight away into the arrow, thus levelling up the factory as a whole. And that is why we did all of this, to get that upgrade. I suspect that will go up to at least level 4, possibly higher, and that will then put a strain on the rest of the network. So at the moment, that looks like half full of sand. So tracking back to where the sand is made, it's here. That has an awful lot of oil sand in it, but if there was a shortage of sand, it means it's not making it. So what should happen now is this shipment should also start to move up, because it'll start making more sand here. It's only chucking 300 out. That will go up, I guarantee it. This will move up, that will move up, and the demand for oil sand will increase, which then begs the question: can we keep up with it? Because we're literally flatlining the oil sand here. He's sat there waiting for stuff. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we do need to bring this other oil sand online with a train and a shipyard. But we're going to have to wait until all of that is in place. We've got to let this demand build up. While we're waiting for it, we can already build the infrastructure here. So I'll do that now. We'll get that ready. And then we should be good to go. There we go. So I've basically stuck a platform in there right next to that oil sand mine, and dragged the train into here, train line to there. I defined the line as Princess Oil Sand, which sounds like an unfortunate royalty name. Princess Oil Sand. There she is. So that's going to bring oil sand down to here, which is connected to this. That's connected to that. That's the main thing, and I've defined here as another shipping run as Princess Oil Sand. So that will take oil sand to here, and lo and behold, as I said to you just a moment ago, that is now powered up. That is leveling, so its amount of oil sand it's going to need, we're going to start to see these stores going down now, because this just won't be able to keep up with it. Quite frankly, not a chance. We need to implement both. So we'll do that quickly. I've also hooked in that there, you see, so that we've got the depot already. So we'll stick one of these on there. We'll get a gondola for the oil sand, I believe. No, that's slag. Slag. Wait, where does the oil sand go? Coal, iron ore, silver ore, stone, grain, slag, and sand. Surely the oil sand goes in there. Okay. Oil sand goes on a flat car? Okay. Well, I guess it must be like big chunks of rubble or something. I don't know. Interesting. Never thought I'd see that, but let me just put the thing back on there. Almost bought the wrong thing then. It's a good job I checked that. Would never have thought a flat car for that. So we'll buy that, and then we'll colour it a orange colour, and we'll stick it on the rail. So Princess Oil Sand, where are you? Hang on a sec. 1 second. Hold that thought. Oh, did I name it wrong? Oh no, that should have been Princess, that one. That's why I couldn't find it. That's the line I'm looking for. That should have been called Princess Oil Sand, like that. My bad. Because I looked at it and I knew it was coming from Princess Whisperer Mines. I must have named it inappropriately. There we go. So that's the train going out of there. And then, have we got a shipyard anywhere in the vicinity? I don't think we have. We're all miles away. I might cut this bit of land out as well, because we're going to have things going around the corner unnecessarily. I think the nearest shipyard is way up there, so I'm going to stick another shipyard down here, I think. So we'll do that quickly. Or maybe put it over... Doesn't really matter where it goes, that'll do. And then we'll add a cargo. We'll go in with the Merlins. They're like half the running cost. A couple of those should do it. Sandhurst oil sand. Let me just check it waits till full. Sandhurst oil sand. Upper Sandhurst load. Might as well wait for a few minutes before we set off. And that should complete the supply chain. So hopefully that, yeah, there it goes. It's starting to allocate oil sand already to Bradford. So that will basically take it to here, where it will get dropped off. I'm going to just cut that away. Why don't we leave it like that? That looks kind of cool. Hopefully it's adjusted the shipping line. Yes, it has. Yeah, I like that. We'll leave it like that. Yeah, we're done here, guys. We're done here. I don't think there's anything else we can do. Oh, that's fully packed now. Look at that. Oh, look at the money. That is some serious profit. Yeah, he's completely tapped out. He is now power level. Look at that. He's gone... What was that? Level 3 or something? It's just gone whoosh. Bonkers amount of stuff. So yeah, that's going to be chucking out sand like there's no tomorrow. So we just need to keep eye on that train line down to here. Make sure we keep this beast fed. I can already see the need for another train, so we'll quickly add that in there, because this thing is already allocating tons of conmat up to Thatcham. Look at this. Yeah, it's almost got as much allocated to Thatcham now as it does to Sandhurst, and Sandhurst has been going since a year dot, hasn't it? It's getting conmat. By the time that train eventually arrives at Thatcham, wherever it is, it will eventually... Oh, it's already got some, look. It's already got some conmat, so they're obviously... There they are. They're obviously delivering. We've not got far to run, so we don't need many of these, but I think we'll just add another one on there. Anyway, I have been going on way too long. Hopefully, you've enjoyed yourselves. Please give me a thumbs up if you have. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And if you're not subbed, please consider subscribing. More content. We've got lots of these cool videos to come. Lots more to do in this world yet. But we are getting there. Things are getting delivered. We've got to get machines to Princess Rispa at some point. There's still quite a few towns on the list that are not getting both things they need. For example, Ludgersold's not getting machines. Lee's not getting machines. Goods are not going to Mitcheldean and Romsey. There's still quite a few things that I want to do. And I also still want to get you a nice TGV fast train going around at some point. So, you know, it's all cooking on gas, as they say. Ludgersold slag. Do they need a bigger ship? I don't know. Possibly. Stick a towboat on there. Probably overkill. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. We want to leave this video and this world behind for a bit. And I shall see you on the next one. Take care. Happy building.